Today, we have the youngest guest with us at our podcast studio, and this is the setup we have chosen. Her name is Giana, and she's in grade 9. And let's take a viewpoint from her. How is her life going on, and what is happening in her school life? Hello, girl.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm doing good today.
Are you nervous to be over here today?
A little bit.
Okay. But I like the enthusiasm in her. I asked for it. She hesitated a bit, but then she was like, let's go for it. So, hats off to you. So, while we were talking outside, mm, you are the firstborn of your family. Same goes for me, 33 years back. So, for me, my brother was born like 7 years after. So, and during those 7 years, I had a lot of transition. Like, I was staying with my grandparents, then my mama, and then my parents. And my brother came to this world with silver spoon, is what I can say, and started staying with his parents. How was it for you?
I think initially I stayed with my parents only, and I think obviously all the attention was on me because I was the only child. And the difference between me and my brother is 5 years.
Okay.
So I was 5 when he was born, exactly 5. And I remember this one funny incident that my mom told me that after the baby was born, like after my brother was born, I actually went to the doctor and said, "Can you check if there's another baby? Can you check if there's a girl?" Because I prayed and I prayed for a baby sister, and when my cousin got one, I was like, okay, I think my prayers are answered. I think I will also get. So I admit I was a little bit disappointed when I saw my brother, and I'll tell you, my grandparents, they pamper him so much. Like if he does something, my grandfather will sit and yell at me.
Oh.
Now it's a little bit better, but before he'd be like, "Jana, why? He's such a small boy. Why are you yelling at him? Leave him alone. Leave him alone. He'll make mistakes. It's fine."
Okay. So, he was allowed to make mistakes and get little less shouting, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. What is that one memory of yours that you remember um, where you might have got a beating or a shouting or locked in the room and your brother escaped? Like slided through your umbrella and escaped.
I think, as far as I can remember, my parents have always treated us like equals. Mainly, they haven't said that, you know what, I'm going to be partial to this person, especially my mom. She said, like, I'm going to be equal, I'm going to treat you guys as equals. But I think sometimes what he'll do is if my parents are yelling like I didn't do something, he'll be like, I did it, it's okay, I did it. You focus on me, I did it, it's okay. She didn't do, but I did it. You're happy, right? So he'll do that. He'll try to escape, but then my parents will dig something out and he'll also get the shouting. So I
Okay.
don't think there's something where he's fully escaped.
So, what is the favorite memory of you and your brother, like together? Like, I remember one, I'll tell you. It's a scary, but yet my favorite with Rohan. So, I was the elder sister. So, I was teaching, even though I don't know much English, I was teaching him English spellings. And one day, I'm admitting this on the camera, don't beat me up later on, I ended up poking a pencil on his thigh. And then I told Rohan, please, mummy ko mat batana. And, I did it with aggression or whatever. And that information, till today, I don't think he has told my parents about it. Now, if my parents watch this video, that's the only point they will come to know. But that is one thing that I remember of my childhood, which, I'm like, why did I do this to my own little brother? Is what I think. What about you?
I've done a lot of bad things to my brother. Some which I regret, some which I kind of don't regret because he deserved it.
Okay.
I think but my favorite one is he is deathly afraid of dogs. Like he got it from my mom.
Okay.
And I think there was this small Shih Tzu. I love dogs, like personally. So there was this small Shih Tzu that was walking, okay, and we were walking in the direction of it. The moment he saw it, he looked at the dog, he looked at me, and he said, "Giana, please help me," and he started crying.
Okay.
So I think my favorite memory is picking him up and putting him back because he was frozen. He couldn't do anything. He was just standing there and crying. Okay, I first apologized because both the dog and both the owner looked very scared. So I apologized to the lady and I said, Zian, come, we'll go back home. You can stay home. I'll make you hot chocolate and I'll put a movie for you. So I think that is one of my favorite memories.
Wow, that's so cute. Okay, now let's come to your school life. Okay, now when I used to go to school like 10, 20 years back then, we had this. I went to a convent school, girls only school. So is it the same for you?
No, ours is inclusive school, so both boys and girls
And
co-ed.
girls. Okay. And for us, we had our uniform and our hair length. If you have going to open your hair, then it has to be only this. Anything above this has to be two plaits. Anything more longer, it has to go as a double fold. So I have my pictures where it is a double fold, and that's the school memory I have, or that's how I used to go to school, and that was my mom's everyday morning exercise to do that. What about you? How is it for you guys?
For us, we have only one rule according to hair. Have your hair tied up. And don't, it doesn't have to be too over the top, something simple. So obviously, I go to school with either, sometimes I do braids, sometimes I do a ponytail, sometimes I do a bun. It just depends on the day. But I see people who walk around school with their hair open. The teacher will come, and what they'll do is they always carry scrunchies. So they'll take it and they'll loop it once around their hair and they'll walk. The moment the teacher is out of sight, oh my god, so annoying. And they'll take it off and walk. For them, school is a fashion show.
And do you guys have like a color theme? Like I had my red ribbons. So do you have that, or it has to be just tied up? Anything?
Just tied up.
Oh wow, that's so good. Lucky for you guys and the parents who don't have to tie their children's hair, is what I will say. How about your lunch breaks? Do you always get food from home, or it's more outside?
There is a canteen, but our canteen is said that only healthy food, so no junk food.
Wow.
But they serve biryani, sometimes they serve tacos, they serve different cuisines, but it's all healthy. But I take tiffin every day, so dosas, idlis, sandwiches, omelets, all the time. Every day it's different. So
Okay.
I take tiffin every day.
Every day. And you don't opt for the canteen? Occasional.
Sometimes, occasionally, if my parents will allow, I'll take like 10 dirhams and go to the canteen and buy myself a wrap.
And how many subjects do you have in that you need to study? Like
I
for
think-
me, I think it was around 8, 10. Yeah.
Per day?
I think 10 sessions per day, but like 6 or 7 subjects per day. But overall, one full year, we had history, geography, algebra, geometry, science, English, Hindi, Marathi. I may be missing out something. And then I have social science and PT.
So you have algebra and geometry as two different.
Yes, we
Oh,
had
we just-
algebra and geometry, two different, and we had to pass both of them.
We just have math. We're going to move on to trigonometry now. So, yeah, last topic of the year, but it's going to be very hard.
Okay.
So, we have 7 sessions per day, and similar to yours, but instead we have, in languages, we have French, Spanish, Arabic. All compulsory, all graded. And then just history, geography, math, English. Science, we have per term, we have the different sciences. So, like for us, term 1, biology, term 2, chem, term 3, physics.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
then,
good.
Yeah, so then we have obviously PT and your normal school subjects, but we don't have Marathi.
Okay. And what are your school timings like?
Always, school mornings are very very hectic. Always, I have to run to class because I'm almost always late. So 7:40, by 7:35 you need to be in the class, and then 7:40 you need to be out, and 7:40 is the first lesson. Finish around 2:45.
And does your school ask you to do extracurriculum activity like dance, or what is it called? Singing, piano, basketball?
There are extracurriculars like
Yeah.
they've partnered with this company called ESM, where they do paid extracurriculars like horse riding. We have a swimming pool now, so you
Wow.
do after curricular swim, but it's paid, so not
It's
really
optional.
Yeah, it's optional. And then
So, what are the things that you have done?
I think as of now, I think in term 1 they had this like before school thing, and they have this every Thursday after school thing, which is free by the school. So before school, me and my brother used to come, Ziran used to do football. I used to do there was this tutoring thing for math, and I was just really behind in math because math's not my strong suit. So I used to sit and they used to teach us about different types of math, and then they used to do like extra time cultures and interacting with people.
That comes to the next question. You know, what are you called? Are you called a Gen Z X or Gen Z?
I'm Gen Z, like closing towards the end. I'm Gen Z, and my brother is Gen Alpha, so that's the newest
Please
generation.
elaborate. And what
Okay,
am I? Please tell me that as well.
it depends on what year you were born. So,
1991.
so you should be a millennial.
Okay.
So these are just the different generation names, so you can separate. And I think the biggest thing between generations is language barrier, the vocabulary barrier. Like Gen X has a different, like Gen X and millennials are almost the same thing. They're just like when one generation ends, like they're just different names. So there's Gen X, then there's millennials, and there's Gen Z, and then there's Gen Alpha or Gen Y.
So, what are the terms that you guys say differently?
Okay, so this one is very
Ask
funny.
me and let me see what my reply is.
This is the Gen Alpha term. It's I can guarantee you have no idea what I'm talking about. It's called skibbity toilet. Do you know what it is?
No.
I myself am very confused because like the younger children in our school, they go around yelling it out loud. Apparently, it's this cartoon where it says a toilet with a man's head coming out. So they call it skibbity toilet.
Yuck.
Exactly. And then there'll be like millennials who are trying to learn Gen Z language, and just them talking in their language is just so funny. Like they'll come and there's this word called bussin. Nobody uses it, but apparently it's a part of our vocabulary. So when my uncle or aunt will come and say it to me, I'll just, what are you doing? What are you saying? Nobody says that.
But
Like,
where do you guys come up with these terms? Curiosity.
some people just create it. Like the word cringe. So like
Okay.
it just means embarrassing, and it's like just a short word for it. So like, and a lot of like acronyms or short forms are used. But one thing that I remember is I attend my mom's class. Like she's the co-founder of blah blah blah, right? So I attend her classes, and then there was this activity where we have to do consequences, and she was like using short forms or using cool language to be with your friends. And one of my classmates was like, "Could you give an example of what language?" And she's like, "YOLO." And I was like, "Nobody uses YOLO. Nobody uses YOLO. Like,
And what does YOLO mean?
you only live once."
Oh, wow.
That's millennial languages, but nobody uses it anymore. So it's very outdated. So I could tell my friend was like, "What is she talking about?" Because not really everybody knows what this is. I've done some very extensive research on what was going on in like the 2000s, like Y2K, and I'm very confused as to what was the craze about low-waisted jeans, and like like the different like things that people used to use and people used to wear, because it sounds very outdated, it looks very outdated. So that's just something which I'm very confused looking at.
You're
and very
calling us
baffled.
outdated?
I
We are
mean,
running the economy right now, if I'm not wrong.
I mean, pretty soon we'll also be running the economy, so I can't really say anything. But yeah,
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, let's come to our next segment, social media. Now, I am a person, I don't like to take pictures, I don't like to post them, but I want to be on social media because the entire world is on social media. So, how do you guys take it?
if I wanted to do something, I just go on social media and I'd like reels for Instagram or TikToks, YouTube Shorts, a lot of these things like 60-second videos. So I just swipe through them. If I see one person, like different people are doing one thing, that's a trend. That's what's going on right now. That's what you need to do, and that's what you need to catch up on. So something my brother has found out is when you take a photo, flip your phone upside down. It gives you a better angle. He's done so many family photos for us, and they've made the photos so much better.
That's one thing I admire of your entire family is that you guys do reels and you guys dance and you guys do it so well. I think it's sometimes it's in your bedroom, sometimes it's in your hallway. And how do you guys come up with it and how is it helping you build a better family life?
I think we bond over this stuff because we have so many like bloopers or so many like funny takes. Like we just have us like dancing, and in the middle of it we stumble over each other, we end up laughing. So that's something which we bond through, like these videos and stuff. And we try to find stuff which is easy for my mom to do and which is easy for my brother to do, which is easy for all of us to like understand, and not just something which is like, one revealing or one like too hard to do. So it's something that we bond over, I
So
think.
you're the smart one in the family, right?
Yeah.
Why does your dad not come on social media? Is he hiding?
No, he just doesn't want to do it. He's just like, why do you want to involve me in this stuff? I don't
Okay.
want to do this.
I'm sure he might be saying at the back, you guys are the cartoons, go for it,
Yeah.
right? Fantastic. Anything else you would like to share and you would like to tell us, like, something that you as youngsters feel, or something that you guys want the society to know about you guys?
Make the effort to get to know us. We're not defined by our language, we're defined by our personalities, we're defined by what we do. So yeah, we're not really defined by, like, you should take the time to like understand what we do, understand what we feel, because we feel different. One thing that I don't like is people who say, oh, back in my day. I'm like, that doesn't matter anymore. We're in 2024. Like, times are different, technology is different, the world is different. So I think that's something which I really want people to know, that people are different inside and outside, and don't judge a book by its cover.
Okay, because you said back in my days. So the term my parents or my mom still uses it is that back in my days, we used to wash our clothes by our hand on the stone outside, get our, what is it called? The water, and bring it on. So what is the thing that back in your days, how do right now generation tell you?
I think one thing like my dad has said to me is, back in my day, I did so much stuff. Like, school was so hard. Like, we were drowning in homework. You guys have nothing to do. Your life is so easy. Our lives are not easy. We have to deal with school life. We have to deal with like making friends. Making friends is hard. Like, people think you just walk up to someone and be like, oh, hey, we have something in common. Let's be friends. That's not how it works. You have to like align with a person, and nowadays it's a lot harder. So I think that's something which I've struggled with, and also like having friends who are not like toxic and who are like actually gonna like be there for you. So
But I think back in our days, if two-person are sitting and eating tiffin boxes together, we end up saying, declaring ourselves as friends. That's how, or in the bench, beginning of the year, we end up getting our partner, bench partner. Do you guys still call it bench or desk or?
yeah, seats, desks,
Okay.
same, same.
So we used to sit together. We are friends. That's how easy it was for us to make friends. Whether they last or not, that's a different story. But that's how it used to
Yeah.
be for us. Why is it difficult for you guys to make friends?
People nowadays are like so much on devices, Instagram, social media. They're so obsessed with other people's lives that they forget about real life. So one thing my parents have implemented in me in this is like, you don't need a phone. You don't need social media until you're 18, until you're old enough to like pay for your own phone and stuff like that.
But if you don't use phone, then how you will come to know the gadgets? Because today's world, everything is on those devices, right? The reason I don't like taking pictures or making reels or sitting and doing editing jobs and things like that is because at my generation, back in the days, there were not computers that easily available. It was a luxury. Phone was a luxury. So isn't it need for you guys to have a phone so that you guys are updated and how the world is going to go forward?
I mean, I'm not saying don't have a phone. I'm saying use a phone at a limit. Don't overuse it. Like, I've seen this like reels online where there's somebody who's like, oh, I use a phone 7 to 8 hours per day.
Okay.
That's overuse. You don't need to use that. You could use that time like getting internships, working for your like future career, or like making new friends and like talking to people, interacting, like, making new connections. Instead, you spend that time looking at absolute nonsense. So nowadays, people upload absolute nonsense, which is something I don't understand, even though I'm Gen Z. So like, I've seen all my friends like obsessed with phones and obsessed with like having a phone, saying, "Oh, I got the new iPhone 15. Oh, I got this. Oh, I got that." nobody cares about that. You talk to the person. Like, I myself don't care. So talk to the person, like, interact with them. I think that's more important.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much. Like, it was more refreshing for me. I remembered my olden days. We have an audience in the room. I'm sure they were engrossed in our conversation. So, guys, this was the youngest. Anyone else who are in this kind of a generation want to voice out their opinion and you're looking for a platform, get in touch with us, get in touch with our team, and we will help you guys to come out here, get out of your stage fear or presence fear, and at the same time we'll know about what you guys think on different particular topics. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And hope to see you next time
Me too.
with an upgraded version.